So like a lot of people, I've got a toolbox that I've outgrown. I've had this Craftsman set up for a good 10 years or more. And our store, our Sears store, like so many others, closed quite a long time ago. And my options have decreased a little bit as far as tools with the Craftsman name. There's still some around here that I can find. I can certainly get them online. But like a tool, it's tactile. I like to feel them and touch them and look at them and all that stuff. So I am just a hobbyist. I don't do this for a living as far as mechanic stuff, but I do have enough tools and I have some decent stuff that I want to protect and I want to keep things organized. So this is a little bit about my journey on finding a new toolbox and why I went the direction that I went. You know, I did what everybody else does, hit Marketplace and talk to people, you know, do you know of any used toolboxes for sale? And was looking at all the normal stuff everybody else was probably looking at, you know, Snap-on and Mac and Cornwell and of course Craftsman and whatnot. And, you know, even used, a good toolbox is still very expensive. And kept hearing about the US General boxes from some friends. Harbor Freight obviously has them and manufactures them. Went ahead and bit the bullet and did it. And in this video, all I'm going to do is just talk about how it came packaged, what it was like getting everything together, and my thoughts after owning it for a month now and using it a fair amount. I'm not going to go into all the options and all that because there's a lot of varieties and you know you got to go to the store and pick what you want. But this is the Series 3 from US General, 56-inch top, bottom, and then the, I don't even remember now, 15, 18-inch side cabinet. So that's what we're going to cover in this video. And I told my wife that I wouldn't put it together until I made some more progress on the Bel Air. We're putting the coilovers suspension on the Bel Air right now. But honestly, having this big box, I want to say it's in the way, but it's really not that bad. But I just want to see the box. So I'm going to go ahead and open it. Not going to organize it or anything, but I'm going to see how this is all done. So this is the way it came, obviously. It was on the skid. They loaded it at the store. That went really smooth. Tying it down, getting it home, no issue. Getting it off the trailer. Once I figured out how to do it, it took all of 7 minutes. But it's heavy. Probably a two-person job to be really safe. You know, it's nicely packaged. Obviously, it's shipping. Can only assume it's made in China and shipping around the world, but it's got nice packaging materials for sure. Probably some stuff we can repurpose down the road. Keep all these things. I was told at the store that there is a ramp that is in the bottom drawer, so once you get the box off and stuff, you can pull that ramp off and apparently just drive this thing right off the skid, which is smart packaging. There you go. Looking good. There are instructions on the outside of the box. I just saw them. First one, of course, is remove the packaging, which we've done. Lock all casters. Locate the key. Cabinet handles, screws. These may be stored in one of the drawers. Attach the handles. Remove the ramp. Use the key to lock the doors while you're moving it. And do not remove the single rail on the ramp end. Unlock the casters. Push that puppy off. So that's what we're going to do. But just like everything else, looks really nice. Quality looks great. It's got little hooks
here and here, so you can hang it on either side, which is good. And this one I think I can lift on, so I'll do that here in a minute. Doesn't have a place for the handle for the big box, so that's fine. So I lifted on the side cabinet, or I think I'll probably call it the side piece. Unlocked it. First view, it did not have the liners, but the second drawer has a pack with enough liners for each drawer, plus some hardware, which I can only expect will go down low and attach to the side of the big box. But everything looks great. I'm really happy. My friends that I know that have this brand are happy with theirs, and they use theirs a lot more than what mine will get used. So I think we're in a good place with it. So I'm probably 3 weeks or so into ownership now of the new U.S. General ToolBoxes, 56 inches plus the side cabinet. I really didn't need the side cabinet, but I bought it because, I figured by the time I really needed it, they'd change a model or they'd change a color or something would be different. And it was on sale and only, a few $100s, so I went ahead and did it. All in all, impressions are, I'm very pleased. It's a lot of space, and it made me realize that I'm shy a few tools, which is always a great thing when you're a guy who likes tools. But from a performance standpoint, it's done perfectly fine. I have been pretty active in here of late because I've been doing the suspension upgrade on the Bel Air, so a lot of opening and closing the drawers and all that. In my opinion, they probably don't slide as well as the old Craftsman did, which is sitting over there now. But that also could be because there's a lot more weight in them because the drawers are bigger and all that. I did lube them up some with some Bow Shield, and that helped and makes a lot of sense to lube those things regardless. So happy with it. Again, I'm $1,600 and change into this whole thing. It took a long time for me to convince myself to pull the trigger and do it. Did a lot. Coming from a Craftsman box, it takes a little bit of getting used to open them with the locks. The locks are, you can hear they're ribbed anywhere, but you want to pull them towards the left because the actual locking mechanism is right over here on the right side. So when it goes in, it latches. So I don't know if you can see that, but when you pull it, there it's locked, there it's unlocked, and it comes out. And it doesn't lock on both sides of the cabinet. It only locks on the right side, not on the left. So if you forget to pull it, it kind of comes out a little wonky. So always remember to pull it and then open. Pull it to the left, open. So with the top box, I've thrown my cordless stuff up there and my face mask and a couple other things that I use frequently, trying to keep it closed and keep it clean. I wish the charger ports were up there instead of down below. On this particular model, they have the charger ports down in the base cabinet down here. And I don't know, I'm weird about stuff like this. I'd like a little more airflow, so I find that whenever I charge them, I leave this door open. I know it's probably stupid and useless, but I'm just weird about that, so I do that. And then everything else is just kind of normal. I mean, I'm not going to show you all the tools and the way they're laid out because everybody's going to be different on that. But all in all, I'm very happy with the space. One thing I would probably do differently in hindsight, and I don't even think it was an option, but I think you can buy them as an option, is the drawer pulls are black, and man, do they get dirty quickly. So I find myself wanting to clean those up at the end of the day when I've been in here working. All my other toolboxes in the past have been aluminum, silver, kind of like the old box there. And those just hide the dirt better than what this does. But man, when it's clean, it looks phenomenal. So maybe that'll just entice me to keep wiping it down all the time. So all in all, very pleased, and I expect that won't change. Left and open. I'm still not organized completely in here, and I have obviously a lot of screwdrivers. And I even have a drawer that I haven't used yet, so that's just screaming to buy more tools. Oh, here's something I did. Up in my wrenches, I bought the Icon brand large box and closed wrench set. There's 4 standards and then 4 metric as well. And I bought them just because I didn't have things above an inch. Inch and Craftsman was as big as I went. And I thought, you know what? It's getting harder to find Craftsman. The Icon tool felt good, it looked good, and it obviously reasonably priced. So I bought them, and I wound up using the 1 1/8 wrench a lot on the Bel Air suspension. So it winds up I needed it as opposed to just sitting there looking pretty. But I'm not going to have a problem changing over if something breaks. But you know, the reality, I have owned many of these Craftsman tools for 40 years. Some of them, and I'm not just going to randomly grab because I don't think I autographed all of them, but back in the day when I was a kid and started buying these things, I would engrave my initials on sockets and stuff because I was convinced somebody was going to want to steal them. And you can't really tell, but right there, there are my initials. And I would have done that in high school. And that would have been 40 plus years ago. So speaks to the quality of Craftsman, at least back in the day. I assume it's still pretty good, but that's it. There's my assessment. All in all, very pleased. Need more tools, but who doesn't?